What is up, guys? Welcome back to another review. So today we're taking a look at another figure, and of course it is the month of June, which means we're taking a look at Transformer figures because this is the entire month of just looking at Transformer stuff. So Saturday, which was a couple days ago, we took a look at the Bumblebee Studio Series Optimus Prime figure. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. Currently, as of filming this review, this video hasn't gone out yet, so I hope everybody liked this one and I did a decent job. I don't review a lot of Transformers, and I know there's like a certain way people like it, especially for me. So I hope I did something at least a little justice there. So today we're taking a look at a figure that I have had for a while. Now this figure in particular is one that I just picked up because I wanted it. I picked this figure up, I feel like it was like 2 or 3 years ago, because I wanted this figure back because I had this figure when I was a kid, and sadly I didn't know what happened to it. Like, I just remember finding pieces of him in like a Lego bin or something. So I wanted to get a replacement, but I never could because I never had the money. So now I actually was able to, and I had this figure. I've had this particular figure for a couple of years now. I've been meaning to do a review of this figure. I started trying to do one in the old house, but the only thing I got was an unboxing, and I sadly don't have that anymore. So this figure doesn't come in the box, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the figure's still really cool. But the box is pretty cool. I mean, I'll probably have an image on the screen right now of the box, and it does look pretty cool. It's like got that classic look to it. Of course, I tried to do another review, which is when the room was a little set up a little bit differently, but that one I believe was scrapped as well. So now we're finally actually getting around to reviewing this guy, and this is I believe it's the Revenge of the Fallen, not Studio Series. I don't even remember what these would have been called, but this is the Revenge of the Fallen Brawn figure from 2006. I have had this figure for a long time, and I have a lot of good memories with him. Again, I got rid of my original forever ago, and I got a replacement a couple of years ago, and it's still a really awesome figure, and it's one of my favorite figures for my my Transformer collection. It's just such a neat figure, so I am very excited to get into this one. I hope you guys are too. It's a very, very cool figure, and I cannot wait to show you guys what we got going on about this one. So let me stop rambling and let's get on to this review. This figure doesn't have any packaging to open, sadly. I did not keep it after all this time. I do have the kind of promotional booklet that it does come with, which is actually really cool looking because it's just like a huge nostalgic thing to look at. And this is all for Revenge of the Fallen figures. And I'll take a trip down memory lane a little bit just to see what kind of figures they had so far. So you had Megatron right there, pretty cool looking. I don't think I had any of these figures. I know I wanted some of them. This guy's kind of cool. I like him. He's kind of got like this cool samurai look, which he's pretty neat. Ironhide, oh, I always wanted an Ironhide figure. The Masterpiece one was cool, but I don't know. It's just like frustrating to like transform and stuff. I would rather have, you know, the small like leader class or whatever you call them. I don't know what they're called, deluxe class figures that they had now for the Studio Series. I would rather have one of those besides, you know, the big Masterpiece figure, because Masterpiece figure was cool, but I don't know, I would like it just to scale well. You also get this guy right here. You also get this guy right here, which is kind of neat looking. You get a Mud Flap, which is kind of neat, and then an Armor Hide, which I actually really did want because I did like the design, but I just wanted Ironhide mostly. And then we had Optimus Prime right here. We had a Sidewipe here, Ratchet right there, which I believe I did have this Ratchet before from a long time ago. Lockdown, which is kind of cool looking. Of course, we have Brawn, the character we're looking at. Bumblebee, and this little guy right here, Evac. And then also has some other stuff at the bottom here, which I don't never would get, because I mean, I would rather have a Transformer figure that, like, you know, transforms instead of just a car mode. When you turn it over, it's like a actual thing. And then you also get some merch too, which honestly I remember seeing those a lot. Not the skateboards or the laptop, not even the game really. I never actually seen gameplay of the game, but the shirts, the backpack, the hat, I mean, that was all at like Walmart's from back in the day. God damn, this brings back a lot of memories, you know what I mean? It's got a lot. I would like to know what exactly what kind of figures you guys had, because I didn't have any of these. I had a couple, but my main one that I do remember having was I had a Ratchet, I had a Sideswipe, or it was a Jazz. It was a Jazz, not a Sideswipe. And I had Brawn. Those were the three, and a Bumblebee, of course. I never had an Optimus or a Megatron or really any other Decepticon, really, in like this kind of form. So that was kind of cool. I like that. It's a cool little booklet. I definitely will be keeping this, just kind of like for like the whole nostalgic reason. They also are very different in their instruction booklets, because if you like know, like their instruction booklets now are like this. It's got the print here, and it's like, it's still fold out, but it just looks a little bit cleaner. But back then they just had these little pieces of paper, which pretty nice quality paper, and it was just this. That's pretty much all it was. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how far they've come in instructions. But now that we have all that out of the way, let's get this little figure out here. So right off the bat, I will have to say this is probably one of my favorite vehicle modes for a Transformer figure. I absolutely love this thing. I have so many memories of going to church, and I just remember one time I had this little guy, and I brought him to like Wednesday night classes, and while they were doing their stuff, I would just be transforming this thing over and over again, even without even looking. Like, I would just be like staring, trying to listen, and also transforming this at the same time. I had a little bit of a tism, you know, but it's such a cool truck mode. I actually really do love it. The thing that I loved about it was it just looks really cool, and I just absolutely love it. And of course, you have like this this machine gun at the top right here, which I always loved. And just the transformation mode was so simple and very fun to mess with. And then the teacher took it away from me, and yeah, that was kind of depressing, because I was like, well, now I can't concentrate. But it looks cool. I really do like the colors. The color is very nice. I like the little hints of green and this kind of almost bronze look to it, because it kind of has that kind of shine to it, which is very nice. Got some Autobot logos there. I really do like the bed of the truck. It is really cool. You can fit something in there, and you can fit a blaster or something. I don't know, fit a minifigure in there or something. But it looks really, really nice. I do like how they did the windows. It's nice and see-through, but you don't really see much in there, really. But I really do like the way this whole truck mode looks. I just love it. Has no really posability at all. It's got these nice plastic wheels, and it's got a hinge joint here for the actual like machine gun or turret. The kibble on the bottom is kind of bad. It just looks weird. But I mean, it doesn't bother me like in the slightest, because I mean, nobody is ever gonna have their Transformer figure like this, you know? I mean, unless you're kind of doing a diorama thing, but I mean, just turn it the other way. I don't know, but it looks cool. It does kind of jet out a little bit at the bottom, but that does not hinder the wheel movements, which I really do like. And it does move pretty smoothly, and I really do like it. But there's a lot of nice little detailings that you can see there. I'm not going to go over all of it, but it's got some nice, you know, stuff going on. I really do like it. Comparing it next to the Optimus Prime figure from the Rise of the Beast wave, it's not bad. I do like these two together. I am not transforming this guy. I don't have time to transform him right now. So I transformed him, and this is basically what they look like. and it's a decent comparison. I think comparing both modes, I definitely prefer his more. In terms of like transformation altogether, I think I like his more. His is a lot more simple and just feels a lot more smoother than this one does. But it is kind of cool to see the engineering process from this to this. And also there's a big difference in how they do stuff now. Transforming this guy is pretty interesting to do. Just mainly because it's whack, because he's got like a lot of I don't know what you would call that. Like, it looks like an armor shell, you know what I mean? He's got like a lot of pieces that he just looks like a mess of stuff, but I really do like the way he looks. And then compared to him, his has a more smoother look to him. He looks like they tried to compact as much as they could to make it look as screen accurate as it could, which I always do like. I think if you're going to do a Transformer figure, I think you should always put I think the robot mode should be top priority, and then go on to the actual vehicle mode instead of the other way around, because I think a lot of people would have their figure in their robot mode compared to their vehicle mode. So even if the vehicle mode didn't look great, I still think that it would be really nice. Like this figure. I mean, this looks like shit. I mean, this whole thing is, it's all right, but I mean, I don't think really anybody's gonna have it like this. The robot mode looks awesome as it is, but it's just kind of like my own little thing. But the truck mode looks very nice. Let's transform this guy and see what he's all about. Alright, so in terms of the robot mode, wowzers, it's interesting. So you saw me kind of struggle a little bit with the robot mode. It's very interesting because of just the amount of kibble that's on him. Like, these doors are very annoying to kind of get by, especially these like shoulder pieces here. But overall, this thing looks fucking cool. Like, this is probably one of my favorite Transformers designs. The Michael Bay movies have a lot of interesting designs for their Transformer figures, or Transformer designs in general. Some of them look pretty dope, and some of them just look like a pile of just scrap with random colors on it. That's literally the best way to describe it. But some of them actually look really cool. Some of my favorites are Starscream, Brawn here. Even though he didn't appear in the movie, it's still a cool design. Ironhide's another one. There's a couple Megatron designs that look really cool, and also some that don't. But yeah, there's some hit and misses sometimes, and I still really do. I think that's one of the coolest things about the Michael Bay Transformer movies. I just dropped one of his guns. Is the design for the robots. You can lecture the story and the overall movie in general, but I think just in terms of the robot modes and just how they fight each other, I think that's the coolest part. So I kind of went on a rant a little bit there. This robot mode is cool. Like, this is a really dope robot mode. I love the green that pops from this figure, considering that he had all this kind of, I'm gonna call it like a bronze, like this bronze, like brownish color, and then you just pop into this green with some silver and some other little details here and there. It looks very nice. I actually really do love how they painted this figure because it's just so beautiful to look at. I love these little details, just these little hints of red and silver just kind of sprinkled throughout the actual figure. I think that just gives it so much life to it. I really do enjoy just the proportions of it. The kibble can be very ugly to look at, but I think it looks awesome on him, and I love that head sculpt. That is that is the coolest figure head sculpts that they have, and it is also a transparent light. So let's do my shitty tactic and try and see if we can get that light to shine a little bit. There you go. You kind of got something going on there, right? Yeah, there's something right there. Anyways, you get what I'm trying to do. But it's cool that there is some light piping. I think that's really nice. In terms of posability, oh boy. Okay, so you do get a swivel at the head that can go up and down like so, but you also get this hinge joint at the neck, so he can look down pretty far, and he can also look up about that far. He has a hinge joint at the shoulder, which is more for the transformation, but he can move up about that far, down about that far, and of course he has the hinge joint here as well, or the ball joint, and he can also do a swivel. He has a pretty nice bend at the elbow, which I really do like. I always loved these because as kibbleish as they are, I always pretended that they were like some kind of like shield to help in like melee attacks. So I love that. He has some swivel at the wrist, which is pretty cool. Not really common on some older Transformer figures, I don't think. I remember I had a couple Transformer figures that didn't even move the wrist at all, which is just weird to me. He also does have a swivel at the waist, which I really do like. He has a ball joint at the leg, which can pretty much move, all the way around. He can kick that far, back that far, and he's got a pretty decent spread. Now, sadly, the ball joint is not the tightest. I think there is a nice little way to do it that I might try and fix, but, and it also does kind of pop off a little too easy, so that kind of does suck. He also does have a swivel at the thigh, which is pretty cool. He has a nice bend at the knee, which I really do like. He has a up and down at the foot and at the kind of heel part too. And that's pretty much it. There's no pivot on this figure, so that kind of sucks. But I think what you're given, I think you can pull off some pretty dope poses. And he also does come with some accessories as well. These are not attached to his hand. These are his little blasters here, which I think are really cool. They have a nice green look to them, and they have this transparent plastic at the bottom, which is pretty cool. I actually really do like the shape of them. Looks very kind of Cybertronian. So I really do appreciate that. But yeah, that is pretty much this whole figure. I think this figure is really, really cool. He is kind of a mess to kind of handle, but I think he's really dope. I don't know what it is about him. It's just mainly nostalgia and just this overall, just this cool factor to this figure that I just absolutely love. So here he is next to the Rise of the Beast Optimus, and honestly, they kind of scale pretty well together. I actually really do like how Optimus is a little bit taller than Brawn here, so if you did have both this Optimus figure and you wanted Brawn to go with him, this is not a bad look for him. And just standing a little bit taller is the Bumblebee Studio Series Optimus Prime figure, which I really do like, and I think they scale perfect. I think that the extra height on Optimus scales very nicely with each other. So I just think that, this is really cool. Even though these are kind of two different universes a little bit, I still think they work pretty well together. But you could definitely see, kind of a big, change in like engineering over the years. You got Brawn here, who's just like a really cool looking figure, but also a big mess. And of course, I totally forgot that he also does come with his cannon here, which you can kind of just have over his shoulder, which just gives him even more of like a cool edge to him. But yeah, like I said, Brawn is a really dope figure, but he has so much kibble. Like, it's just at the point where it's kind of ugly, but it's still really cool. And Optimus is very minimal on his kibble, so it's just kind of cool to see these two different types of the same kind of brand of figures, just separate years apart. So I think that this figure is a really, really cool release, and is probably the coolest figure from like the Michael Bay Transformer movies. But yeah, I'm kind of running out of things to say right now. I love this figure. It is such a dope figure. In terms of the sculpt, I think the sculpt is pretty awesome. I absolutely love how they sculpted this figure. So I just think that this is just like a cool sculpt. Again, the kibble is kind of, crazy, but I think it just makes it look really dope. The transformation, I think, is very smooth. I think the most annoying part is just kind of getting through like the clearance of, these giant doors. And, just kind of the overall, the age of the figure too, and also these hip joints like to pop off. But honestly, I still have a really good time transforming him. The feel of him, he does feel a little loose in some places. Again, definitely in these legs, but I don't think that's like a huge defactor on this figure. The alternate mode looks amazing. This robot mode looks so cool looking. And definitely that truck mode looks amazing. Like, that's the coolest part about it. And the overall, I think that this figure is awesome. So I think I'm gonna give this guy a score of 4.5 out of 5. I think that this figure is awesome. Yes, I really do like him more than the Optimus figure, mainly because it's just a nostalgia reason. But it's still these two are still really cool figures, and I actually really do like them together. So far, they're kind of on my shelf with the Decepticons and the Autobots, even though most of my figures, all of them, this is the only Bayverse figure that I own. Everything else is from like the Bumblebee movie and a couple G1 figures as well. So, I don't have the biggest Transformer collection, but I'm getting up there, and I would like to get a couple other Bayverse figures. There's a couple that I'm actually looking at right now. I want to get a Starscream from the Studio series, and there's a Megatron that I want, which I think is from the second movie, where he's in like the hood and he's got like the weird shotgun. I think that's like so cool. It's such an awesome design for him. It's one of my favorite designs of Megatron from those movies. There's also just a couple other ones that I would like to get as well. Maybe a Bumblebee and an Optimus. And I think that would probably be it. There's also Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher is like one of my favorite kind of weird one-off Decepticons, because I just love that truck mode. And I actually, it's such a weird thing, but like I actually saw that truck in real life, like passing, I think it was like a military base I passed by in Arizona, and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Bone Crusher. Look, it's Bone Crusher. And my wife just looked at me like, you're an idiot. I was like, I know. I got the tism, but it's just such a cool design that I really like from him. So I think those would be the only Bayverse figures, and it'd be kind of cool to actually have a nice little Bayverse shelf, just to kind of have this guy have like some of his friends and stuff with him. And the movies aren't, I don't want to say that. I literally just got done watching the first movie, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like it wasn't great either. But yeah, it was okay. The action scenes and the robots fighting at the end was awesome. But if you want to see that, I did post a review on my Instagram, which I'll have up on the screen right now, and you can also look at it in the description. So I think we're gonna wrap this video up, and yeah, we'll call it that. This was a fun little review to make, but we're gonna have to call it a deuce. And that was the entire review for this figure. I am so happy that I finally actually got to be able to make this figure, make this video for this figure. So I am very happy with just the overall look of this figure. It's so cool. I'm very happy with my rating. I think that it's a little higher than Optimus, and I love this figure of Optimus, but just Brawn just like is just one of those figures that is such a big nostalgic thing for me that he has to go high on the list because I just absolutely love him. He's super fun to transform. Again, he's just has some issues here and there, but other than that, I just absolutely adore this figure. But yeah, this is pretty much the entire video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know that, you know, this is not the best way to film Transformer reviews. I'm not an expert, but hopefully the transformation scenes are at least a little decent. I don't know why I'm transforming him right now. He's just like, I don't know. Reminds me back in church again, but it's just such a cool figure. I'm very excited to actually, you know, have a shelf for my Transformer movie figures, because I have a shelf basically for the Bumblebee movie, because I have Shockwave up there, I have Soundwave as well, and I have like the whole, like, you know, the whole gang of Decepticons that I want, and I also need to get some Autobots as well to fill out the battle scene that's happening right up there, because for all the Autobots that I have, I only have Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal. So I need some more. I need Bumblebee, I need Ratchet, Ironhide. I need the whole gang, you know what I mean? So I really want to add a shelf that just has figures from the movies. As much as I don't really care for the movies that much, the designs for the Transformers is really, really cool. And it's, you know, something that I would absolutely love to have. Mainly just like maybe a Megatron, a Starscream, Brawn, of course, and I don't know, maybe an Optimus and a Bumblebee. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. But there is some decent designs for some Transformer figures that I do like from the movies. I mean, they're very interesting designs. But other than that, it's going to be a very small shelf because I don't want a lot from the movies. Mainly just because I don't care for the movies that much. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I don't know why I'm transforming this guy. I just decided to do it just because. But it's such an easy transformation, and I absolutely love it. So again, we got 9 videos to do, and I'm already tired. I already feel tired. That's why I've been rambling a lot, because I just feel tired already, because I have work to do, but I also need to get these videos out. So, you know, it's just, I've been trying my best to make sure that these are decently fun videos, and you can see me struggle with the transformations and stuff, which, yeah, you can kind of see me doing right now. But this one's just like a nice calming one to do. And it's also, like, doesn't help that it's like 2 in the morning right now and I gotta work tomorrow. So, yeah, that also doesn't help. But it's still a really fun figure. It's still gonna be really fun to do 9 videos. I am very excited for this month. We're 2 videos in, and yeah, I'm very excited for what's to come. And speaking of what's to come, we do have a figure that we're going to be looking at next week, which will be Friday, I believe. Friday will be the day where we take a look at this figure. And there he is in little truck mode. There we go. That's better. See, it's just fun. It's just fun to transform this guy. It's so cool. But we have another figure that we're going to be looking at on Friday, and that is this version of Starscream. This came in a pretty decently sized pack, and this is basically his coronation gear. And I'm very excited to look at this Starscream, because I've had this Starscream for a bit as well. I've always wanted this one, so I just had to get it. So we have Starscream. We're going to be taking a look at this little guy, and I'm very excited too, because he looks awesome, and I cannot wait to show you guys this one. But for now, Brawn, an awesome figure. Optimus Prime is also an awesome figure as well. And that's pretty much all I gotta say. I've been rambling on for too long right now. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these Transformer reviews. And yeah, I cannot wait to show you guys Starscream on Friday. So stay tuned. Hopefully you guys are excited for that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.